So I made a video yesterday where I had a near-death experience, and that video was based on a video that I made 2 days ago where I I basically had a heart attack and died because I was cussing everybody out on the video, and that was kind of hard to do, and it was also one of the most it was basically one of the most risky videos I ever made for my reputation, because some people are probably stupid enough to believe that's actually who I am as a person, and that's why it's dangerous to make videos like that. But basically, those videos I made are a reflection of a certain reality I come to terms with, and the reality I come to terms with is that things really need to change. Things need to change with not even necessarily just with how I address people. It's not even necessarily that I'm not going to call out things anymore. When I find things I disagree with. But what I have noticed is that there is a possible candidate for one of the reasons why I make some of the types of videos I make. And there's also a certain candidate for why I actually have been relapsing on NoFap, and why I kept, going backwards and doing things that I shouldn't be doing. I basically had a bit of an epiphany. Now, this is this thing that I'm about to bring up. I don't even know how to really explain it in a way where it makes a lot of sense. But basically, there is this, on NoFap, where you basically, you stop relapsing and all this type of stuff, but you kind of feel you get where you think it's that there's a void inside of you, and it feels like you're unloved, feels like you're unappreciated, feels like there's an emptiness because you're not going to that fix as a form of satiation, I guess you could say. Basically, I've been going through that, and not only have I been going through that, but I have unknowingly been going through that on purpose. Now, I know a lot of people might wonder, how can you go through something like this on purpose? Well, it was unconscious, but it was on purpose. See, what I've been doing a lot that I shouldn't have been doing is I've been fantasizing about what a relationship would actually be like. That's a dangerous thing to do on NoFap. And another thing that I've been doing is I've kind of been filling up this gap with this sort of oily, ooey gooey, type of fantasy, where, everything is, where you're trying to fill yourself with this sort of concept of love that isn't actually real. But you still kind of believe in the benefits of NoFap, right? But you're kind of stuck in this sort of place in the middle. It's very difficult to explain to people. But basically, what I was afraid of this whole time was not loneliness. It was liminality. Now, some of you might know about these places that are these pictures that they have on the internet. They're called liminal spaces. And on these liminal spaces, they sometimes show these big open spaces where it looks like everything's too perfect, but there's nobody there. It's all complete emptiness. See, I've been treating that sort of liminality as an emptiness. See, there's two different kinds of people. There's people who find comfort in liminality. These are the people who are able to be comfortable, being single, being alone, being in solitude. But then there's people who see liminality and they're horrified by it. They're scared of empty things. They don't like the feeling of being empty. And what I've come to terms with is that this liminality, this emptiness, this void that we believe that exists in ourselves is actually a fullness. You see, it's not that I haven't been meditating, but when I would be meditating, I would be trying to meditate on some type of bliss body or some type of, material thing. And I'm not necessarily saying you should completely blank your mind and not have anything exist. That's not what I'm saying during meditation. But what I would be doing is I would be kind of chasing the high. I wouldn't see the experience itself as the high, basically. I would be chasing the high in the experience. And a similar issue would happen, when I would go to bed and I would kind of, hug up next to this body pillow that I had. It was kind of a way to sort of satiate that liminality. But what I'm beginning to understand is that God not only is, what we refer to as God, or what we refer to as the ultimate reality. It's not only unmanifest, but this liminalness that exists within it, it's not a punishment. It actually is sort of the reward, if you're able to enjoy it, if you're able to sort of allow it to be. It's kind of like, why would somebody enjoy sugarless tea, right? It has no flavor. Or it has plenty of flavor, but it has no sweetness, right? The answer is that they enjoy the liminality. They enjoy the simplicity. And me being able to truly accept this is making me wonder, if I no longer feel emptiness in this one area of my life, maybe when I have people who disagree with me, I'll see that as sort of like an emptiness, sort of like a space between me and that. Like, it's not all, like, the world's not completely ending just because things aren't following a certain set of circumstances, which is kind of ironic because I kind of just got mad earlier for not being able to make a video because somebody was making, I don't say hella, but somebody was making hella racket outside. I mean, like, I'm not talking about nails on a chalkboard. I'm talking about like metal going up against the concrete road outside. Why somebody would make that kind of racket, I don't know. But in every situation except that one, I think I need to just accept that there's more joy in emptiness that I allow myself to believe in. The void that everybody convinces you exists whilst being alone isn't really a void at all. It's a shadow of desire. It's what's left over from being stimulated. Stimulation is not supposed to be the rule, it's supposed to be the exception. And I'm beginning to understand this, and this is why I feel a certain part of me no longer lives. So this is the reason why I made the video that I made.